Hi everyone. Okay, in my last video I showed you some of the movies that I've picked up recently in thrift stores, but in this video I'm going to show you something different. So I was able to meet up with a collector who really needed to downsize his collection, and I was able to get quite a few titles from him. He was very kind to me, let me go through his collection. In this video I'm going to go through some of the horror titles that I picked up. Quite an interesting selection here. Horror isn't something I can generally find in thrift stores because there's so many horror fans out there. You snap them all up. So yeah, this was a rare event for me, and I hope you'll find this interesting. Now, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Because I have here a 6-pack and I also have a lunchbox. So yeah, let's get into this. Okay, let's start with the lunchbox, and by that I mean a cannibal lunchbox. So what we have here are 3 cannibal movies. Have to be careful what I show you, but I think that's okay. So first up we have Umberto Lenzi's classic Man from Deep River from 1973, the movie that really launched the whole cannibal video nasty kind of era. He went on to also direct Eaten Alive. So yes, Man from Deep River. And next, also from 1973, we have Warlock Moon, directed by William Herbert, and this one with cannibalistic witches, ghosts and brutal axemen. This one stars Laurie Walters and Joe Spano. And then finally in this set, from the godfather of gore himself, Herschel Gordon Lewis, we have Blood Feast 2, which is a very belated sequel to his 1963 classic. This one came out in 2003, so some 40 years later. So yes, a very belated sequel. I think I can show you the reverse of this, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so that lunchbox might have been a bit chewy, a bit hard to swallow perhaps, so we need something to wash it down with. So next up I have here a premium pack here from Anchor Bay. This is a fright pack of premium horror films, 6 movies inside here, very nicely packaged here to make it look like it's beer cans, and it even has on the bottom here, rather than a due date, it has a die on date. So let's go inside. Okay, so first up from 1980, and it's the film debut of director Frank LaLoggia, and this is Fear No Evil, about a high school student, a grade A student, who just happens to be the Antichrist, and he unleashes a whole load of satanic mayhem at his school. And this one has a punk rock soundtrack that includes the likes of Patti Smith, Talking Heads, the Ramones, and the Sex Pistols. Next is one that I do actually already have. It's from 1976, and it's the Hammer film To the Devil, a Daughter, adapted from the novel by Dennis Wheatley, who also wrote The Devil Rides Out, and this one starring Christopher Lee and Nastasia Kinski and Richard Widmark, as well as Honor Blackman. Next from 1981, and we have Linda Blair from Exorcist fame in Hell Night, and this one's about a group of college kids who are spending the night in a manor house some 12 years after a gruesome murder took place, and they have to see if they can survive the night. This one's directed by Tom DeSimone, who also directed Reform School Girls. Next from 1988, this one is co-written and co-produced by Dario Argento of Suspiria fame and directed by Michelle Soavi, who also directed Cemetery Man, and this is The Church, also known as Demons 3, with a score by Goblin. Next is a movie from 1974, an exorcism movie that comes hot on the heels of The Exorcist, and this is The Antichrist, directed by Alberto Di Martino, and with quite an interesting cast that includes Mel Ferre, Arthur Kennedy, and Alida Valli, who was also in Suspiria. And this one has a soundtrack that is composed by Ennio Morricone. And then finally, for this 6-pack set, we have Spanish horror star Paul Naschy in Curse of the Devil, playing a man who has been cursed to be a werewolf, but not only that, he manages to piss off a satanic coven who then unleash all kinds of hellish damnation upon him to fight. So yeah, this one is also known as Return of the Walpurgis. Okay, so that's the 6-pack over with, but we're not done with box sets yet. And if you remember back to that Cannibal lunchbox, I mentioned Blood Feast 2, which was directed by Herschel Gordon Lewis. Well, here he is again, because I managed to pick up this set of Herschel Gordon Lewis films. Really fantastic set, this. Now, I must admit, the only Herschel Gordon Lewis film I have seen before now is his original Blood Feast from 1963, and I didn't really care for it too much, but nonetheless I am intrigued to see the other movies that he has directed. So what we have here, not necessarily in any particular order, but we have from 1967, The Gruesome Twosome. And next we have The Wizard of Gore, about a magician who uses his stage act to get volunteers, hypnotize them, and then seemingly perform various acts of mutilation, except he does actually mutilate them. So see in this movie the smashing punch press, the sword swallowing trick, the spike through the brain, the burning tank, and the lady sawed in half. And next, from 1968, we have She-Devils on Wheels, and this one involves a girl motorcycle gang called the Man-Eaters, who get into a turf war with Joe Boy and his hot rodders. But these are swinging chicks, they don't owe nobody, know nothing, and they don't make no deals. Next, from 1972, we've got a lunatic on the loose, and he has something against go-go girls at strip joints, and the movie is The Gore-Gore Girls. And next, from 1967, we have Something Weird, and this one involves a man who is disfigured in an electrical accident and develops psychic powers. But not only that, he manages to reach a bargain with a local witch who will restore his looks as long as he becomes her lover. But little does he realise that whilst he sees her like this, everyone else sees her as an ugly old crone. This one also involves a fair amount of LSD and some killer bed sheets. And then finally, for this Herschel Gordon Lewis box set, we have A Taste of Blood, about an American businessman who thinks he's received via mail 2 nice old bottles of brandy via some kind of inheritance. But when he drinks it, he's actually drinking the blood of Dracula. Yes, so lots of mayhem then ensues. So all in all, a pretty interesting set, and I'm not quite sure what I've let myself in for here. But yeah, this set also includes a number of short movies as well, which include Love Goddess of Blood Island, Biker Beach Party, Monsterama Nightmare, a psyched out sing-along with the 4D Witch, LSD Psychedelic Freakout, Wigzorama, and Nightmare at Elm Manor. Okay, but I'm not done with box sets yet. I have another box set for you, and this one is from Warner Brothers, and it is their Twisted Terror collection. So again, we have a handful of movies in here. I'll show you what they are. Bit of a mixed bag here. Now, this first one I've certainly seen before. This is from director Oliver Stone, and it is Michael Caine in The Hand. Pretty terrible movie, but I know some of you like it. So yeah. Next up, I remember this one coming out, but I never actually saw it. This is Larry Drake in Dr. Giggles. And then from 1978, early John Carpenter, we have Lauren Hutton and Adrienne Barbeau in Someone's Watching Me. And then from director Wes Craven, and with a script by Bruce Joel Rubin, who also wrote Jacob's Ladder, this is Deadly Friend with Christy Swanson. And then next from 1980, and this was the film debut, I think, for Jennifer Jason Leigh, Eyes of a Stranger. And then finally for this set, the one that I'm perhaps most pleased to get is this one, From Beyond the Grave, a series of 5 different horror tales with a really great British cast here that includes the likes of Ian Bannon, Ian Carmichael, Peter Cushing, Diana Dawes, Margaret Leighton, Donald Pleasance, Nyreen Dawn Porter, David Warner, Ian Ogilvy, and Leslie Ann Down. What a cast. So there we have it. That is the Twisted Terror collection. Okay, quite a lot of intensity with a number of those movies that I've shown you so far, so let's just take it back a bit, go back to the 40s and some more genteel, if you like, Fox horror classics. So I have this set that I managed to pick up. Now, maybe some of you might remember I have picked up one of these sets previously, and I did a video talking about Dr. Renault's Secret, a movie which I really enjoyed. But yeah, some great stuff on here. Now, one movie on this set which I have seen already is Hangover Square with the great Laird Cregar. So I'll just show you that one. So yeah, Laird Cregar showing there, and also co-starring the gorgeous Linda Darnell and George Sanders. And then Laird Cregar and George Sanders also appear in this one, The Lodger, which is John Brahms' remake of Alfred Hitchcock's classic. And then finally, for this triple pack, we have The Undying Monster, also directed by John Brahm. This is from 1942 with James Ellison here playing a wolfman. I really love this artwork here, and there's James Ellison. Little booklet that's included here to talk about each of the movies as well. So that is Fox Horror Classics. Okay, I don't want this to be too long a video, so I might just pause it around now, which does mean that I still have plenty more horror movies to show you, as well as all other kinds of cult movies, such as Pinky Violence, Grindhouse, French cinema, Russian cinema, you name it, there is lots more to come. But I will just finish by showing you this one, The Legend of Boggy Creek. And I watched this just the other night, and now I must admit the DVD here is very poor quality, poor sound as well, but this film has been brought out as a 4K. And I just want to mention Sean's channel over at Movie Assault, so do go and check out his channel, and in particular his top 10 movies of the 70s, because he did reference The Legend of Boggy Creek amongst his choices. But yeah, despite the fact that this was really terrible quality to look at on the DVD, I did enjoy this. So yes, this was one of the original, if you like, drive-in classics that was a kind of documentary drama style, set in Arkansas, and really featuring some of the local residents there who supposedly did actually see Bigfoot in their neighborhood. But yeah, it's a really effective kind of movie. Now, and this is where it really gets into the kind of pros and cons of having a poor quality DVD versus a really pristine 4K, because when I read through some of the reviews of the clear, pristine print, people find the movie a little laughable because they can just tell that the Bigfoot is just a man in a costume. However, when I'm watching this poor quality DVD, I cannot see that. I'm actually having to strain my eyes to see what's going on, and for that effect, it actually makes the film more effective, if you like, for me, though I'd love to see the 4K. But yeah, I actually quite enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty well done. So yeah, The Legend of Boggy Creek. Have you seen this one? Okay, so I am going to pause it there, but I know there's lots of horror movie fans out there who know a lot more about horror than I do. So let me know your thoughts and comments on any of those ones. What have I let myself in for with that Herschel Gordon Lewis box set? Yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, so like I say, there is a lot more to come. I will be talking about just the nature of how I picked up these movies, and I do want to talk about the collector that I got these from as well, but I'll do that in a separate video. Anyway, for now, stay tuned. Remember to come back. There are lots more to show you. But yeah, like, subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. All the best. Bye-bye.